oh my God, if Mamdani wins, all the rich people are going to leave New York City and the economy is going to tank. Or he's going to implement Sharia law, or 9/11 is going to happen again. Or, oh my God, crime's going to run rampant because he's going to defund the police. These are all directly from the classic conservative playbook of make people afraid of these hypothetical, made up situations so that they don't have to agree to some kind of big change. When the evidence suggests that those kinds of changes would actually improve things, you latch on to these scenarios so that you can convince yourself that change is bad and we can just leave things the way they are. You will latch on to conspiracy theories, like he's going to convert New York City into some kind of extremist Islam state by implementing Sharia law or enabling Islamic terrorists who committed 9/11, when all the evidence in the way of the things he has platformed and campaigned on are suggesting the opposite. In fact, he's the one of the three candidates left to pledge the most amount of money towards combating anti-Semitism and hate speech initiatives out of the three of them. That's based in conspiracy theories and, frankly, racism. Defunding the police is going to lead to more crime. Appropriately reallocating those funds has been shown in many cases, and especially in the longer term, to bring violent crime rates down. But you don't want to listen to that evidence because defunding the police is some kind of major change, and you don't like change. Same thing with taxing billionaires, right? You can latch on to this fear tactic that, oh my God, everything's going to go to shit if we don't suck on the boots of billionaires because they're holding everything up because they're so important. And it's like, dude, we could just tax them and reallocate those funds back into our communities and make our communities more affordable, make kids get better educations, make less people hungry and or homeless. It has been shown time and time again in countries throughout the world at many points throughout history. When you tax billionaires more, you can redistribute that fund into making your communities thrive, into helping more people than just the small amount of rich people. Like, for example, pre-1970s America. But you have to ignore the evidence of these things working so that you cannot change anything. And instead, you have to live in a world where you're afraid of these kinds of things that could actually help you because you've been convinced that any kind of change is a bad thing and everything's fine exactly the way it is. Whereas the reality is more and more people can't afford to live in cities like New York City and states in this country, and it's getting worse and worse. And so Mamdani's platform is, hey, what if instead of continuing to target more and more and more of the lowest earners in a city or state, we targeted the people who have more than they need to help those people out? It's so simple and straightforward, and frankly, based on the values that I and most of us were raised on as kids, to care about your neighbor when you have more than you need. And we've been convinced it's a bad thing. We've been convinced it's handouts and that's socialism.